Stop shouting at people.
Controversy as the Moody Blues Towering Classic peaks at number 49. Justin Hayward's
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. And I love you. Yes, I love
Excuse me.
Simon Mayo, dressed as Felicity Kendall, drowns himself in a dentist's aquarium.
By the way, Martin Lewis next. Just heard from Paul Garnett. He's standing freezing cold in Cambridge at the railway station, waiting for a taxi to turn up so he can bother it. That in about half an hour.
In certain circumstances, it may be necessary and sensible to administer smack to your child.
This is New Order.
Maybe I've forgotten the name and the address of everyone I've ever known. There's nothing I regret. Save it for another day. It's the schoolers and the kids have run away. I would like a place I could come up on, have a conversation on the telephone, wake up every day, that would be a star. I would not complain on my wounded heart. I was a short fuse, burning all the time.
Stop being poor.
A complete stranger, now you are mine.
Tommy Vance, on a tricycle, waves at his mother and crashes into a tree.
Stop being poor. Living as an unfortunate-looking destitute does you no good at all.
I think within reason, a limited amount of smack is not something I get hysterical about.
New Order, Regret. And here is today's Sod of the Day. Martin Lewis, interviewed by Peter Hamill. I'm Peter Hamill. Martin Lewis, welcome.
Thank you, Peter.
Now, Lewis is a name we associate with news quite a lot, isn't it? One thinks instinctively of Tony Lewis, the sportsman. Gavin Nestler's mother's maiden name was Lewis. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
So, well, there's one
and none of us are related.
Well, it's a strong newsy name. Of course, in America, there's Huey and his lot. But what about news? How does it help us?
How does news help us? I think it presents us with events and stories which help to make us more rounded, fuller people.
How can we be sure that we haven't just watched a news bulletin which contained, say, a 290-degree news rather than a 360-degree one?
Well, I think you have to accept that what we decide to do is that we pick the top 12, 13, 14 stories of the day.
So it's very much like a sort of album chart.
How do you mean?
In that you have a prioritisation system.
Yes, of course we do. I mean, I think people do in most walks of life. I don't see anything unusual about having that in the news.
I suppose what you're saying is that the tape is always the same size.
The tape is always the same size.
It's not going to vary, is it?
In terms of the length, you're right. I mean,
The length of tape is the same size.
2.5 minutes, yes.
And obviously on a story about transport policy, you wouldn't go so far as to examine what a road was.
Well, when if a story is complex, then it helps to provide all the explanation you would need, as though someone was picking it up for the first time, because for one reason or another they haven't been listening for the previous 4 or 5 days.
And this is the sort of thing that Newsnight perhaps would do that the main bulletins wouldn't.
Oh no, the main bulletins would as well. We would
explain what a road was.
We would explain.
Yep.
We would explain what a road was.
Now, this is a book aimed at showing young people what to do. Particularly impressed here with the cross-referencing in the book. Who thought of that?
Well, that was my idea, because it's the young person's Bible. And of course, I realised that if you knew the name of the organisation you were going for, well, then of course you just look it up, and the book is compiled in alphabetical order.
Now, why
but
alphabetical?
Most people, well, I mean, alphabetical, because, we're all used to working with dictionaries and thesauruses and even telephone directories, and alphabetical order is, a perfectly natural way of doing things.
I suppose we take it for granted, but is it?
Oh, yes, I think so. Except, and this is why I put in the different categories that you're talking about, except when you don't know the name of the organisations offering the opportunity that you as a young person might want.
Hence the cross-referencing.
Hence the cross-referencing, a special category section. So it's very easy and quick for you to get to those opportunities.
And nail them down in a kill.
Sure.
Now, could you just take us through the cross-referencing system and how exactly it works?
All right, well, let's take a general area of interest.
Photography?
Okay, photography, you would probably home in on, let me just have a look here. It could be sport and leisure. Well, let me just test it. Okay, well, first of all, you would
look under F.
It may not be an actual photographic organisation. Right, so there's no actual photographic organisation.
Is this cross-referencing now?
Yes, this is the cross-referencing now.
Yep.
It's not under there. It's under...
Something else.
Further educational training and vocational training. I would suspect that if people were looking for a career in photography, that there would be something there. Film and TV, The Way In.
No.
197.
And this is cross-referencing now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Brilliant.
I mean, this is the whole point, that
it doesn't
there are
work.
500 organisations represented here, and
it doesn't work.
Some of them are quite wide in their embrace, in their remit.
And the great thing actually is that while you're using the cross-referencing system, you can skim through and find out about things that you didn't actually know about. Kibbutz
that's
Volunteer, Ockenden Venture, I see here, the Sean Ryder Foundation.
Sure.
That might be quite fun for young people, I suppose.
Yeah, sure.
Next piece of music.
Thanks very much indeed to our sod of the day, Martin Lewis. Up next, Feedback Report.